Hey, everybody, it's Maria from What's the Story with Maria. How's it going? We are so happy you're here. Tonight is Tuesday, July 8th, 2025. And I don't know where you are or when you'll see this, but it is really, really, really hot in New York. It's like today I got in the car and it was like almost 100. So, and it's very, very humid and it's been rough. I'm not going to lie. So, I'm sure wherever you are, especially if you're in the South, it may be even hotter. So, I'm sending you some love because this is crazy. Um, but anyway, I hope everybody's safe and I hope everybody has some kind of AC or I'm not an AC person, although I do use it like when my puppy was around. I always had left the AC on for her. But for me, I use fans and stuff. Uh, but it's been rough. It's been a little rough. Anyway, we hope you're safe. We send. I can't tell you how sad I feel for those people in Texas. So let's hope that things get better down there. I'm sending a lot of love to Texas, and I know Leo is too. He is backstage trying to get our friend, um, our guest.
We're on. We're in.
Oh,
We're ready to go.
beautiful. Okay, we have her. All right, good. So I was a little worried about our guest coming in, but she's in. All right. So I did want to send out, like, just I'm praying for the people in Texas there. And I just think it's one of the saddest things I've ever heard. So we are sending our love to those people and anyone else across the country or in the world that's struggling with the weather right now. I know there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. The world is a little upside down right now. And so I suggest that you just try to be nice to each other because I feel like it's almost like somebody picked up the snow globe that is our lives and is shaking it. And but just it's going to settle. I do want to put a plug in. I saw an amazing documentary today, and I it left me very emotional as well. It's called My Mother Jane. So Jane Mansfield is Mariska Hargitay's mother, and it's a documentary about Mariska and her brothers and her sister, and talking about Jane Mansfield, who was their mother. And I was very, very, very blown away by it. So it's on HBO Max. If you have time, or if you have that, or if there's another way for you to see it, I highly, highly recommend it. And it just gives me a whole new level of respect for her, for Mariska. And also, when I was watching it, I realized how far we've come, especially as women in Hollywood and in so many different ways, and how different it was back then for women, and the roles of women in society and in entertainment. And it gave me a lot to think about, and you see if you have the same reaction. And I have more to say about it down the line, but let's watch it, see what you think, and I think it'll move you. Anyway, Danielle Alexandria Alchemy has checked in. Hi, Danielle. Happy Tuesday and happy July. Maria Leon, What's the Story with Maria Crew? Um, Danielle, standing by. Okay, so I think that was Leo behind the scenes because we were having a little issue with our getting our guests in, but I think she's in now, which is really cool. So, welcome again to our show. There's a lot going on in the world. We know that. We are going to continue to keep you entertained and bring in wonderful guests. And now we have a lot of great people lined up in the next few weeks and into August. So, also, I want to put out there that if people have shows that they want to promote, you are more than welcome to let us know. Or if you have things that you think are important for us to know, please, pass the word on, and we'll let people know. Like, for instance, I like to check when our show is running live, I like to check it from both places. Okay, there it is. Okay, because people check in. Oh, exactly. So Rena Cunali Berge has checked in. She is my cousin from Massachusetts. Hello and happy Tuesday. Um, Saying to you, Rena, a lot of my cousins in Massachusetts, I haven't talked to them in a while, but I'm hoping to get home soon. So now there's two shows that I want to promote that are happening in the next few weeks. One is our friend Diane D'Angelo, and she is an amazing singer. Her show is called Closing Credits, and it will be next Thursday, a week from this Thursday, July 17th, at Chelsea Table and Stage, which is right by FIT. And it's a beautiful, beautiful venue. And Diane is just an incredible singer and just gorgeous. So check that out. Go to their website, Chelsea Table and Stage. That's Diane D'Angelo. And Leo, are you in the back room there? Maybe we could bring Leo in for a second. And another show that I want to promote is Shanna Sharp, our friend. We work together at many places. Shanna and I have worked together, but the Duplex is where we met. And Shanna's an amazing singer-songwriter, and she is now living in Serbia because her husband is Serbian. But she's been coming back and forth and also doing a lot of cruise ships and things like that. And she is going to be back in the city doing a show 2 Thursdays from this one. So July 24th, I believe Shanna Sharp is going to be doing her show. So those are two shows that I want to talk about and promote. And Shanna's show is at Green Room 42, which is where my show was. And I cannot say enough about Green Room 42. I believe they're owned by the same people, the same group, entertainment group, Chelsea Table and Stage and Green Room 42. And the beauty of those rooms is they have live streams. So if you're somewhere else in the country or in the world, or you can't make it that night, you can get a live stream. They're very reasonable. The live streams, I think, are $21. And then you can watch it. You have a week to watch it, which is really great. So let's see. Leo, are you back there, honey? I don't know if we've lost.
Yeah, I'm here. Should we start the show?
Yes, let's start the show. I didn't know where you were. I thought I lost you. So hit that promo.
Oh, no, I'm here. Leo. I got it, baby. All right.
Big fish, small pond, got my days free and the nights long. I create my own reality. Who I am is fine with me. As famous as I wanna be. Who I am is fine with me. It's who I am. It's who I am.
Fantastic. Thank you, Leo. So our guest, thank you, honey. So our guest tonight is Donna Aceto, who's been my friend since 1989 in New York. I knew her, I think, before I even moved to New York. We used to frequent the same clubs, and when I would come in, Donna was one of the sweetest first people that I met, and we have remained friends all these years. She is an incredible photographer. Incredible.
I love that picture of her in the judge's seat with the camera. Oh, that's like a fierce picture.
Isn't that a great picture? And she's also she's a photojournalist. So she doesn't just photograph people and things like that. She photographs events and things that are happening in the city. Andy Prasky has checked in. Andy, we love your new book. We love it. Butchie Was Afraid is a series of books that Andy Prasky has written. He's our friend, and this is the 4th in the series. Butchie Was Afraid. And what's the title of this one, Leo? Because mine's all the way across the room. It says...
sorry, Dad's part needs fixing.
Oh, my God. This one's intense. They're all... So Butchie is this character that Andy writes about. He's a little boy, and they're every so far in the series, it's been things that scare him and how someone in his family helps him resolve it, or someone in his life. And they're just beautiful, beautiful books. So I highly recommend you go to Amazon and you type in Butchie Was Afraid. And what Leo, you said you read them to your kids at camp, right?
They my after school kids have been using these as their reading books. They have to read for 20 minutes, and I have a lot of first and second graders, which is right up their alley. And so they've been reading this, and they've been asking. I'm not sure yet how to. I want to bring in this daddy one.
Yeah.
Dad's heart needs fixing, but it's a little tough. So we're gonna wait probably the school year for them to read it. But they've been
Yeah.
asking for it. They were like, "Can we read Butchie again? Can we read Butchie again?"
Oh
So
my
they
God,
call
that's so
they call.
great.
Can we read the Butchie again?
It's a beautiful. I just love it. I love the books, Andy. I can't say enough. Not just because you're our friend. Andy is been my friend a long, long time, and he's a documentarian. He's a director, and now he's a writer. And he remember when we had Andy and his sister on, who's the principal. That was
They are.
that was a great show. That was a
They
great show.
Andy is so multifaceted.
Yes, he
He's
is.
got so he knows so much, and he does so many things.
Yeah, and he has a heart of gold. And so I
Hmm.
love these books. I can't say enough. If you have someone in your life, either a son or daughter, or a grandson or daughter, or niece or whatever, the I think the age range is as soon as they can read, really,
Hmm.
like 6. Every kid reads at a different age, but as soon as they can read, because I think it's great if they read it, and the pictures, the illustrations are beautiful, and it's about helping them tackle their fears. And I just think it's just spectacular. So
We've shown the Wizard of Oz after we read the first series. So we showed the Wizard of Oz, and people, oh, that was in Butchie's book.
right, how cool is that?
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
also costume. If you need costume advice, Andy Prasky's the one to go to.
really,
Well, we've seen his Halloween costumes.
yeah. So well, they're
Him
yeah,
and
very
Sean.
very elaborate, and Sean is wonderful. Ed Kutu, my friend from high school. My God, Ed Kutu. Happy Tuesday, friends. Same to you. He runs Blades Hair Salon in Rocky Hill, Connecticut. If you're in that area, ever stop by, get your hair did, and say hi to Eddie. Megan Nevins Brown. Hi, honey. How you doing? Good to see you. I'm so late to this. What's the book about? I'm sorry. It's about a little boy's fears and how he deals with them. Butchie Was Afraid is the name of the series. And this is book number 5 that just came out. Sean says hello. We love Sean.
Hi, Sean.
Megan, it's so nice to see you, honey. So nice to see you. Let me see. Gavin. Hi, Gavin.
Hi, Gavin.
Was on our show last week. He's new to the city. He's an amazing singer and actor and dancer, and he's going to AMDA now. So he's the newest addition to our beautiful city. I have to get these. You will love them, Megan. You can get them on Amazon. Butchie Was Afraid. There's 4 books. I just got all 3 of them, and now the new one's out, so I have the new one. But anyway, just amazing. So once again, I want to remind everybody of our picks of the week. And a pick of the week is Diane D'Angelo. She is at Chelsea Table and Chair. I have Table and Chair, Table and Stage. And here is the link. You go to chelseatableandstage.com, tickets, and just scroll, look for shows. And
July 17th.
Thank you. Thursday, July 17th. The name of her show is Closing Credits. It's all closing credit songs from different movies. And her voice is beautiful.
There's got to be a morning after. Isn't that a closing song?
Yes, and I think it may be in there. So, and also our buddy Shanna Sharp, who I worked with at the Duplex, and I also managed her restaurant, Mess Hall, in Harlem, is coming back. She lives in Serbia now with her Serbian husband, who I adore, Alexander. And she's coming back to do a show in the city at Green Room 42. And that is July 24th. And I'm going with Judy, Susie, Ed Troy, and I think Vinny, Dr. Vinny. I'm getting us a table and we're going to go. So
Green Room 42, you better prepare. You know that crowd. You've met them before.
I have. I love that room. I love that room. I love doing my show there. It was an incredible experience, and I loved seeing shows there. And if you can't make it in person, both of those venues have amazing live streams. So
I'm a West Coast viewer.
I know you are, and I think it's really good quality, right?
Oh, very good. It was just like watching like one of those PBS specials, except my friend Maria was on it.
Oh, what? Wait, and I'm glad you liked it. Let me see. Gavin Baud just said, just wanted to let you know that I have met with Scott of Scott Barberino. Oh my God. And there's a potential of a job at Ellen's, just waiting for them.
Yay!
Look at that. And that happened on our show. He was on our show, and since Scott
Told you, Gav.
I'm so,
You
and
gotta
Leo,
believe.
You gotta believe. And Leo, you were a manager there for a while, right?
I was a manager there for a while. Yep. It's
At
a fun
Ellen's.
place to work.
It's a great place.
It's a fun place to work.
That's wonderful, Gavin. Thank you for keeping us posted, honey. I'm so happy. You know, just now you're new to the city, study, concentrate on school, get all your stuff done, and many great things will come of it. You'll see. Many great things will come.
So, two things before we bring on your photographer, our Donna. But I think that we should celebrate our
God,
couple.
Our calendar. So we have a calendar called Nothing But the Apron calendar that comes out every year, and usually December for the next year. And a bunch of our friends, now volunteer, I've never forced anybody to do this. They come to me and they say, hey, can we be in the calendar? So the catch is you got to wear nothing but the apron. Okay, there it is. What story with me and Nothing But the Apron 2025 calendar. We've been doing this for a few years, I think since 2022, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is our fourth edition, and we hopefully will continue to do them. So
what do they say, that you're the only person that people come and take other clothes off for?
My sister said only you could get people to take their clothes off for no money. I said, but they come to me. They come to me. And it's
5 years in a row they've been coming.
That's been coming around and saying, I'll do it. So I already have 3 people for next year. So I'm excited about that. Great things are happening. Anyway, so that's what we have going on. And Susie Turgeon has checked in. Hi, Susie. Good to see you. We want to let you know that the show goes live on Facebook and YouTube from 9 to 10 Eastern. However, it's saved on Facebook, so you can go back and watch it. And also, it is forever archived on our YouTube channel, which is the What's the Story with Maria on YouTube. And then Leo, the amazing Leo Rodriguez, created a website for our show. So what's the story with Maria.com.
Mm-hmm.
And our show is there, archived. And also, he's got, there it is, all of our, because it goes into podcast after this, all of the places that you can listen to it on podcast, right there. It's amazing.
Just click it and it'll take you right to that station.
Right. So whether it's Spotify, iHeartRadio, all the different possibilities. It's really cool. So thank you, Leo, for doing that. Also, Gun for Hire, Leo does websites. He's designed websites for and maintains websites for many
websites,
of our friends.
Podcasts, video editing if you need some. But can I share my little news?
Yes, please.
I also a songwriter, which I know some of you know a little bit of, but my song, You Gotta Believe, which we played a little bit before, and you can get on my website. I have it submitted at one of these song stations, and this one is M1M. And for this song, You Gotta Believe, and I'll bring it up over here. It has reached some people, and so globally, for the spiritual subject in this one, it is number 9 globally.
What?
And then if you go down to the United States and you pick for nationally, we'll go down here to the United States. Where is it? Over here. It becomes number 5 if you see it there.
Wow.
And then if you go
cool.
to California, it is number 2 on the list. So 2, 5, and 9 on these M1M charts, which I know is not a lot. It's not like it's Kiss FM or iHeartRadio, but This song's been around since 2004. And if you want to listen to it, you can go to my website, Leo Ignacio Rodriguez, and hear it. It's called You Gotta Believe, and it's the original cast recording, My College Friends from 2007, although there are a couple of versions of it. But if you want to listen and support it, please do, because right now we all have faith and we gotta believe for the better.
Oh, yeah,
So that's
Jesus.
what that song's all about.
Oh my God, boy, do we need something. All right, Leo. Well, congratulations, honey. I'm so happy that that's going on. Bill Goffey, hi kids. He says I was watching A Star Is Born. I got all caught up. Oh my God, he's such a drama queen. You know what, Billy? Hi everybody. We love Billy. And by the way, Billy takes a lot of amazing pictures of the Statue of Liberty, and it's kind of like his thing. And he sent me a postcard this week. So beautiful. And I'm really, everybody, please bother him. I want him to print these up on cards. It's like a card, like, you know, that you send to someone. They're so gorgeous. I'm trying to get Billy to do them so we can get them ready for Christmas and or before Christmas. But Christmas, I'm giving you a deadline of October, Bill. And I'm gonna get on it. And that's it. Okay.
And I'm gonna be her backup.
Yes, thank you. You be the heavy. All right. So speaking of photographers, before I moved to the city, I used to come into the city and go to this place called Fat Cat, which is now Cubbyhole. But it was this little on the corner club that I used to frequent. And it was just like such a fun place to go. And I met this wonderful person who was the sweetest thing. And then when I did move here in 1990, we became amazing friends. And we have been friends ever since. She was at my show at Green Room 42. She took amazing pictures. And she is a photographer. That is her profession. And so I've been trying to get her on the show for a while now. And finally, the stars lined up. And she's not just a photographer, she is a photojournalist. And we're going to just zoom her in. Are we ready for my friend Donna Aceto?
Yay!
There she is. Hi, honey.
Hi. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. Are you at your apartment?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I love that you have all the photographs behind you there.
Those are not mine. Those are mostly old Life photographers, actually.
For Life magazine.
Yeah. I was a picture editor there years ago.
All right. And that's when I met you, I think.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a little after you met me. I went to work. Yep.
So you were an editor for Life magazine.
Yeah. Photo researcher and editor. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what does that entail? Like, I mean, how does someone get that job? And what does a job like that mean?
Well, I got it. I was working as a I had changed careers entirely, so it was a little complicated getting there. But I finally got into the photo business at a photo agency. So people would call us when they needed photos, right? Magazines would call.
Okay.
So you got to know people at magazines and you provided them with work. But the goal, you really didn't want to stay at an agency. You wanted to work at the magazine.
Right.
So that was how I was working with somebody, and she was like, yeah, we need somebody right now. Why don't you come in and talk to and I went. So it was very, it was very much the, friendly lesbian phone connection.
Yeah, but that's how things. It used to be so much more like that, right? It was like someone would know someone who would know someone, and then would recommend you.
Like that. Wall Street was like that. Everything was like that in those days.
Yeah, and you went out for drinks with people, and you got to know people, and then someone, hooked you up with. It was great.
Before cell phones.
Right. You want to know something? It's funny that you said that, because I remember when I used to come to New York that I was always using the payphones.
Yeah.
And for a long time, that was it. And then when I moved here, I had a service.
I remember that. That.
People would call your service and leave you messages. So you had to check your service all day.
And even when we got cell phones, we weren't like attached to them like we are now, because they were not smartphones. They were just a phone if you need to make a phone call.
Yeah, they were flip phones.
Yeah, flip phones. And so you weren't like addicted to them and texting with people all the time. You were calling them and saying, hey, you want to have a drink tonight?
Right. It's true. It's true. It was more one-on-one.
Yeah.
So Megan says you actually had to talk to someone. Remember the phone card? Remember the phone cards? Oh my God, yes. It's
Vaguely,
right. Yeah.
Yep.
If you wanted to make a long distance call, you needed the phone cards. So Donna, how did you go from that? I've always known you to work in the photo business. I mean, always.
Yeah.
So how did you go from working at Life to doing all the, like, I know you take your own pictures, and there was I mean, I don't know if you still do that where you sell your own pictures where people could buy them. I remember you did that for a while, right? Or like
Not so
postcards and
much.
stuff.
I started when I was still, working in editing. I was volunteering. I started volunteering in the AIDS community.
Yeah.
What happened was I started shooting for GMHC.
Right. That's
So
what it was.
I started doing a lot of photography for them, and that was volunteer. I didn't, make any money. But then what would happen is you'd go to these, events and galas and all the kind of stuff they had, and the other executive directors and directors of development would be at the parties, and they'd be like, "Oh, can you shoot for us?"
Wow.
So I started shooting a lot of events, and then as I shot events, Gay City News wanted pictures of the, people would send out their pictures to get in Gay City News of the events, because it was all like Sage, and it was all the LGBTQ organizations I was shooting for, basically. And
Right.
so then Gay City News got to know me. So then they started asking me to shoot for them. So it just it was kind of organic, I guess, that it happened. And eventually the editing business really changed a lot. So
was it when computers became more? It became more where everybody
there
was using.
was a lot more online stuff. Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been working on computers for years, but when people started doing a lot of online stuff, and then Time Inc., Time Life, got into issues, and everything changed. And when businesses change, it's hard sometimes. So it was like, and my partner was great, and she was like, "Look, you just want to shoot, give it a try, see if it works out." And so that was it. I stopped taking the editing jobs, and was just eventually. I mean, it took a while, but
Yeah.
this was a long time. This was like the late '90s, I guess.
Right. I mean, I
Late
can't, and it changes so quickly in that business, right?
Yeah.
And do
Everything
you have to
changes.
constantly upgrade your equipment?
Well, the biggest thing was going from film to digital. I mean, that was a huge learning curve for me. I was never very good at math or science, and to me, digital photography was kind of like math and science. Even though, I could work in a darkroom before that and do that kind of thing. It was so, getting my first good digital camera was like a little bit of a learning process, and yeah, you do have to upgrade, but it's not constant. I mean, 5 years, maybe.
Yeah.
Especially back in those days. Now it's a question of you just want something smaller and lighter.
Right. Well, that's
Yeah.
exactly what's happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I just like when I think about cameras, because I've always loved like photography, and I just can't believe that like we went from this to smaller ones to like then like something that was so complicated. But you're right, now it's coming back down, right?
Yeah.
Where people don't want to carry all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, they've learned how to do things smaller, to get the same quality and the same resolution in a smaller body. They did away with, well, they didn't do away with them. You could still buy a regular SLR, but a lot of cameras, they did away with the curtain and took out the mirror, and that made it a lot lighter. So the mirrorless cameras are lighter.
That's interesting.
So yeah.
Okay, and Megan says my son is studying photography. His issue is the ever changing software. Does she have to deal with that as well? Do you have to deal with
Yeah. software, yeah, software can get expensive for one thing. I
Yeah.
mean, because you have to update, and you know, and the different companies will go to a certain point with it, and then they'll upgrade the software. And if your computer isn't upgraded, you can't use. So yeah, I feel his pain, but you know,
Yeah, I mean, but I guess it's just like part of any business. Now, these Leo, these are Donna's pictures that we're seeing here.
well, that's my website. Leo
Okay,
will tell you I probably need a new website.
well, if you ever need anybody to help you with that, Leo's that's his
I might have to talk to
magic
Leo.
powers,
Yeah.
and he does all our websites. I always say, God, Leo, you better write those passwords down because God forbid someone steals Leo.
Oh,
But anyway, he does a beautiful job. But so, Donna, I've seen a million of your pictures. I mean, you basically are documenting our lives in New York. I mean, anything that I see that's happening in New York that's of any importance, you have documented that event.
thank
So
you.
thank you. I
Thank
mean,
yeah,
thank you for doing it.
I
And you
can't
know,
say everything, but yeah, I
and,
I
and
try to
everybody
do as much
knows
as I
you.
can. I don't know.
I know, and everybody knows you. So you go to most of these rallies, protests,
Yeah.
marches. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where it's a hostile situation where you don't?
Um, here and there, occasionally, not much. I haven't had any real problems. I've had police be a little rough a couple times, but not terrible. Like I've seen other photographers, get it a lot worse.
Yeah,
But I've only just like get pushed aside. I've gotten pushed aside a couple times, but I think you have to be more careful now. Like I'm much more aware now than I used to be.
yeah. And I mean, there's some wonderful. This is your website as well.
Yeah, this is my website. These are kind of old,
It
so
doesn't matter. You took them. That's what's so great. You know.
yeah.
Oh, is that Edie?
Hmm. I
Edie
have
Windsor.
I have tons of Edie. Edie was my buddy. I photographed her a lot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Um, so many amazing pictures that I've seen you take. And so you do portraits as well?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Not as much as the other stuff, but yeah, I do it.
Is that
That
Larry Kramer?
that's Larry Kramer and Mary Fisher. I don't know if you remember Mary Fisher. She was the wealthy Republican Fisher body. You look on the
Oh,
bottom of a Cadillac and it says Fisher body. That's Fisher.
wow.
So she was this wealthy Republican woman who got HIV, and she spoke
Wow.
at the Republican convention. Like,
Really?
yeah, many years ago. So that's how yeah, that's who that is.
Wow. I didn't know that story.
Yeah, yep. She's still around.
Oh, that's good. Well, that's
She's,
good.
she's still doing the work, and she's got to be 80 by now.
That's
So
incredible.
yeah, yeah.
So when did you start doing these these rallies, and then was it like the late 90s or was it later than that?
Probably. Well, um,
2000s maybe?
probably. I mean, whenever. Yeah, probably. I mean, before that, I always, I shot stuff like marches and things, but they were more like Pride and all that kind of thing. Um,
Yeah. Oh, that's
when things started,
beautiful.
oh, thanks. Um, I don't know. When did we start getting into trouble?
I know. I was gonna say,
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, when I moved here in 90, it had already started. I already remember like so many of my friends, it would be like crazy the amount of people that were just dying. And it
Yeah,
was so spooky. So, but oh, I love this one too. That's gone now, the Village Cigar.
yeah, yeah.
Iconic
I
is
tell
done.
you, when it went, I was like, oh, thank God I got my snow picture. Because everybody takes a picture of Village Cigars in the snow. I'm like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
I have one of those.
But it's like no matter what year it was, that was always there.
Yeah,
And have
yeah.
have you noticed the neighbor? I mean, you've taken so many pictures over the years, but the neighborhood has changed quite a bit.
Oh, it's changed enormously. Yeah, yeah, it's very very different than when I when I moved here. But it's very convenient for me. I mean, well, first of all, I have my apartment that
Yeah.
I don't want to leave anyway.
No,
Um,
and don't do it. Don't leave. Same thing with
no,
my apartment. They'll have to drag me out. I've been here
no,
almost 20 years now.
I would never leave. But it's still, even though the neighborhood isn't the same, and I hide away on like Friday and Saturday nights. I don't even want to walk out the door.
Yeah,
Um,
that's rough.
yeah, but it's so convenient for me because when I have to run out and work, it's Foley Square, Union Square,
Oh,
Washington Square. I mean, everything is always going on.
I love
You
this
know,
picture of Kristen Gillibrand. Wow.
that was when she first took over from Hillary. That was an interview at Gay City News. She sat down with Paul,
Wow.
and I was in the room.
That's a
While she was,
gorgeous shot.
yeah,
Wow.
she's Tom Dwayne,
Tom Dwayne, how cool is that?
Cal
And
Tom.
that's a night picture, right?
Yeah, that was taken the night that we did not get gay marriage when David Patterson was in office, and
Yes.
we totally, like, they lied to Tom, people in Albany. I mean, we thought we had the votes, we were supposed to get it, and it didn't go through. So that was then. So that's a long time ago. That's why I didn't really send you my website link, because
Yeah, but I
these
love
things are
that.
so
But this
old.
means that you photographed history,
Yeah.
So it's not just about the new stuff. It's about what you have, these are frozen moments, that people even forget about, like I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
there's de Blasio. Like that was a while ago. Whether you love these people or you don't like these people, there they are. You captured them, and you captured a lot of things. And so now I know, and I know we have a mutual friend, Chauncey, at
Yeah.
isn't he the
Love
best?
Chauncey.
Chauncey's great, and Chauncey's involved with a lot of causes, and
Yeah.
as are you.
I
You
spent a lot of
know,
time out in the street with Chauncey.
yeah, I
And he
know
work,
you do.
in Gays Against Guns. He works with Gays Against Guns too.
That's the
Which,
one. I just
which I,
recently saw a picture that you posted. That was really powerful.
yeah. Well, we do. Yeah, the last thing we did every year, we do a night of remembrance for Pulse, since Pulse.
Yeah,
So this year was like our, God, I think it's 9 years now.
isn't that awful?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a very, very strange time. I'll never forget it.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so let's take a second. I want to just check in. Beautiful portrait, says Andy. Yes, Andy, she does. And you know what? Andy, and at some point, Andy and Donna, you guys should meet or Facebook friend or something, because Andy does a lot of documentaries,
Oh.
and he's a director as well. And you folks would just have so much in common. And he goes to our school, if you know what I mean. He's one of us.
Well, I see Bill there. So hi, Bill.
Bill, do you know Bill Goffey? Bill, you should follow.
Not well,
Oh,
but we know each other. Yeah.
Yes, you guys. Bill Goffey. You should follow Donna around and just, it's just Bill's a great photographer too. And he does
not literally, Bill. Not literally.
Not literally, but Bill takes gorgeous pictures of his specialty is the Statue of Liberty, and I just can't tell you how beautiful these.
I
Everybody's
heard you
got a
saying
thing.
that. I heard you saying that tonight, and I have a total thing for the Statue of Liberty. I have, I have a tattoo with the Statue of Liberty.
Oh my God, Bill! Yeah, no, it's
I
what's
love
so
the Statue
nice.
of Liberty, so I need to see his
Yeah,
stuff.
his pictures
Definitely.
are stunning, and they're like different days and different events and just different moods and different seasons. But it's just, oh my God, look at that!
What, Leo? What do you?
Where did you find that, Leo? Leo's incredible.
I loved it. I loved it. That's why I was like, oh my God, I loved it.
Thank
Oh
you.
my God.
Yeah. Well,
especially the rainbow.
The NYCLU came out with that. They used to have much smaller fake tattoos that they gave out around Pride.
Yeah.
And they're a client, so I had a whole stack of them, and I used them for a long, and I finally ran out, and I was like, well, I guess I just have to go get a real one.
I love that.
I love it.
But they get the credit for that. The NYCLU came up with that.
Oh, I love that. So cool. So do you work for the Gay City News?
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you ever get do you ever freelance and other papers use you or
actually Pride this year for Pride, Chelsea Community News asked me to shoot for them.
Cool.
Scott, who I knew years ago when he did The Villager, not The Villager. He did Chelsea Now. So
Oh,
and
all
we
right,
saw
yeah.
each other fairly recently, and he was like, "Would you?" So now I have another news outlet. But
I love that.
But most of my which I love. I love being able to do the new stuff. But most of my work is not. No, I shouldn't say most of my work. Most of my work's in the street.
Yeah, I know. You're this. You talk about being involved in things, and like I learned so much stuff from just looking at your pictures come up, and I'm like, where was she? What's happening? What did I miss? You know?
Well, so yeah, I do that, and then I work for a lot of nonprofits. Like Saturday, I'm going to be shooting Callan Lord's summer party. They have this big thing in this big thing in the Hamptons. It's called the Tea Dance.
Yeah,
So
that's
I shoot
cool.
that for them, which is nice. I love Callan Lord. They're wonderful people.
Yeah, that's so great. That's wonderful, honey. All right, we're going to take a little break because I don't know if I ever told you, but we do a food section of the show.
Oh
There's
yeah,
always a food section.
gotta
And
be.
so
Right.
I always say I can't expect I always interview creative people, different types of creatives. And I can't just ask other people to be creative on a daily basis if I cannot be. So now a little disclaimer, I'm on the keto. So this is a keto friendly meal, but so this is what it looks like. And let me just tell you what it is. I have to write everything down because I'll forget. So what I did was I grilled some chicken with garlic, cumin, adobo, and sherry. And then with some red peppers, poblano peppers, because Leo loves those. And Leo introduced me to poblanos and shallots. And this little thing here is called a cauliflower slim. You can get them at Trader Joe's. They're like little discs. They're like cauliflower. And you just pop them in the toaster and they crisp up. Or you can put them in the oven. And I have them on, and you could turn that into a sandwich, or you can just use it like bread. But it's so good. So, because sometimes I have to watch my sugar and carb levels, so I go back on the keto.
That's your tortilla tonight, huh? How creative!
It is delicious. There's lots of ways, and then I go off of it and I go crazy. But I'm back on it. So, what did I make for salad? I always make a salad, but today I made coleslaw.
Yay!
Yes, thank you, because it is summertime. So I buy a bag of shredded cabbage at Trader Joe's. They have the white and the red combined, and a little broccoli. Shredded broccoli in there. And what did I put? I put and some carrots. I put dill, honey, ginger, balsamic vinegar, mayonnaise, onion, salt, lemon, pepper, and these are pomegranates.
Wow.
Yummy.
Wow.
I know, pomegranate seeds, which now they sell them in stores. Like, it's so great. I've been like eating them. So I threw them in my coleslaw.
Maria, did you just say a honey balsamic or honey, balsamic vinegar?
No, honey ginger balsamic vinegar from the New England Olive Oil Company. I love my vinegars and olive oils. That's my big thing. Like, I will spend good money on good vinegar and olive oil.
Does it give it your coleslaw that little sweetness that coleslaw tends to have?
Because I don't want to put sugar in there, so the vinegar is a little better.
I just started using honey as opposed to sugar and mix that with the mayonnaise, and then
that's a great idea, Leo. I'm going to try that. I use honey quite a bit when I cook. Like if I make salmon or something, I put a little honey on there. Hot honey is really good too. Trader Joe's
it's great for teriyaki too.
Yep,
you want to do a little honey for your teriyaki? It's great to use honey instead of sugar.
I love honey. I think it's a great thing. And for dessert, if you're on the keto, because that's what I always miss. These are my new finds. This is they're called Atkins Indulge Crunchylicious bars. They taste just like Kit Kat bars, and they're so good. Yeah, and I always have to. Like I go on, but sometimes I have to watch my sugar. So this is my new find.
Is that nuts or some kind of rice?
They're little rice, because I know you're allergic to nuts. So rice.
Okay, I got to remember that one.
Yeah, it's like a Rice Krispies, I should say. I'm sorry, not a Kit Kat, a Rice Krispie bar. It's their version of it.
Yummy.
But anyway, so now Donna, you know what? For many, many years on my refrigerator, now I have to like find it. I think I put it in a photo album when I moved. I had a picture that you took on my refrigerator of Joe's Pizza when they were on the corner.
Oh
Remember
my
when
God.
Joe's Pizza was on the corner of Carmine and Bleecker?
Yep.
I still have that. I had it for years. And when I had to move about a year ago, I had to move everything out of my apartment into storage because there was a ceiling leak. And I put it in a box, and now I have to refind it. But I loved like the pictures you took of the village and those iconic places that don't exist anymore.
No, thank
You
you.
know?
Yeah, a
Yeah.
lot of places are gone. And there
You
are
know?
there are places that I go, oh God, I don't think I ever photographed it. I wish I had. You know,
Right. You like Zito's. Do you remember Zito's bread on Bleecker Street?
Zito's was the best.
The
I loved
best.
Zito's. Loved Zito's.
It was just a dive, like a little divey bread store that was there for a million years. But I did buy a painting of it. There was a local painter that used to I haven't seen him in years. I don't know where he went, but he used to paint like different places on Bleecker Street. And I bought one of his paintings one time, and I have that in the kitchen.
It's
And it
it's
was
hard. I'm sorry.
no, and it was Zito's bread.
It's hard to make out on the screen, but if you look over my shoulder and there's a photo, it's hard to see what it is underneath the dancers. Yeah.
Okay.
Under the dancers. That Zito's taken by Bernie Sabat, who was a very famous old photographer.
Really?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Picture shoot
Wow.
Zito's.
Did you have certain photographers that you followed or that you really admired and you tended to like lean towards their work?
Yeah, I love her. A lot of older photographers, all the old life people, and that's the stuff that I still, keep going back and looking at all the time.
Yeah, you can't, and that was like darkroom, that darkroom stuff.
Oh yeah, a lot of that was, yep.
Pretty amazing. I mean, and when you think about the photographers, how they had, they got certain shots on certain days and that are now forever, their history captured.
Sure. Yep.
All right, I'm just checking the time. Now we have about 6 minutes left to our show. First of all, I want to ask you, what is your favorite? Do you have like a favorite food after you finish a job, when you've completed the project, whether it's a march and you're like, okay, I'm starving, I'm going to get myself a blank. What is it?
Either a sliced pizza,
yeah,
or come home and make some pasta, or Susan will make pasta. I'm pasta and pizza all the way.
Well, you're Italian. You're Italian.
Exactly. That's really my favorite. Yeah.
I love it. I love it, love it, love it. One of these days, I know I keep threatening, but I'd love to have you and Susan come up. I live in Washington Heights, right next to the GWB. You can't imagine how beautiful the pictures there. I take a million pictures.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I'll make you guys some nice pasta.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be nice. Actually,
and then we'll have you back down here too, and we'll make you some too.
I love it. And I'm always in the village.
Susan makes great shrimp scampi on pasta.
One of my favorite dishes of all time.
Well, we'll have to have you for that.
Okay, that's it. And I'll have you up for lasagna because that's my.
Oh, good, because we don't make that. That's a big job.
It's a huge job, but you know where I get my pasta when I make lasagna? Raffetto's.
Oh, right around the corner.
Right around the corner, because I used to live right near Donna. I used to live on Houston and 6th for many, many years.
Ooh.
And on Houston and Sullivan, I think it is, or Houston and Thompson.
Yeah, it's on Houston, so it's
There's a place called Raffetto's Pasta, and everything is made fresh there.
Homemade, yeah.
Homemade pasta, and it's incredible. They have ravioli. I get their ravioli in the fall because they have like pumpkin ravioli and butternut squash ravioli, delicious. But when I make lasagna, which is a giant job, but I get their pasta strips. I mean their lasagna strips.
It's fresh. Wow.
Yeah, delicious. All right, so
hey, for some reason I'm craving Italian tonight. I have no idea why now.
You're surrounded, Leo.
Well, once you said Joe's Pizza, my stomach went, oh. So now I gotta have pizza.
Right.
Let me just check in for a second here if anybody else. So we do have Dale Rudkin, our friend. Hello, old friend. Hi, Dale. How are you, sweetheart? Good to see you. And let me see. Okay, so
Sudi
Megan,
Rick just checked
oh,
in.
I know. Spaghettos was my favorite Italian restaurant in the city. Remember,
I still
Donna?
miss it. I
Me
still miss
too.
Yeah.
I'm so sad that place closed.
Yeah.
You know, he sold it. The original owner, who I loved, he was great. He moved back to Italy. That's what it was. Yeah,
Oh,
he
is
was
that what
from
happened?
Italy. Yeah.
Okay.
And he moved back to Italy. And then the guy that had it, I think it was during COVID that
Yeah.
everything kind of shut down.
Yeah.
So, but now it's gone. I love that place. I still haven't found an Italian restaurant I love as much as
When you first came here, that corner was, in fact, you showed what my picture in the snow. It was a place called Bleecker Luncheonette, and it closed at 6 o'clock at night, and they had
Really?
the best ravioli. I would go in
Really?
there at like 5:30 at night and eat ravioli. It was delicious,
I
but it was
love it.
yeah.
I know the best Italian restaurant in New York City. I can tell you hands down.
What is it?
Maria Gentilis. If you go up to Washington, yep.
I'm
I'm
sure.
a big fan. No, I am a
You know
big
the way to get killed is to say Olive Garden.
Well, listen, that's good for people in certain parts of the country. God bless their souls.
California. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? It's just like Mexican food. You know, until I went to California and had real Mexican food,
Me too.
I had no
Mhm.
idea what I said. I said to Judy, "What the hell have we been eating?
Yeah.
This is the real deal." So I guess it's like anything else, right?
I haven't had to cook Mexican since I've been back in California because it's all here. When I was in New York, I was cooking all Mexican all the time because
Yes, you
I
were.
couldn't get it.
Yes, you were, and it was delicious. So thank you so much.
Well, if you ever want
go ahead.
old school Italian, there's a place on McDougal called Monty's that's been there forever.
You know, I've never been to Monty's.
It's
I've
very
heard of
good.
it.
I love Monty's. It's really, that was one of the, I had a handful of restaurants I was worried about during COVID that I didn't want to close.
Really? I'm gonna have to try it.
And it survived, but they own the building. They must own the building.
Is it
you know.
between West, well, let me see, West Third and Bleecker, or is it between Bleecker and Houston?
West Third and Bleecker.
Okay,
Yeah.
I know exactly where it is then.
Yeah, you probably, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. And Megan says I got engaged there. Oh my God.
Really? Wow.
That
Oh
is
my
crazy.
God.
Megan used to live right there on Minetta Lane. Wow. That's wow, that's a throwback. Well, Donna, here's what I'm going to need you to do. This is what I ask all my guests to do. I want you to, everybody that watches the show and listens is a creative person, whether it's local or people from all over the country watch the show. And we have people in England that watch it. We have people in Serbia, people in as far, far away as you can imagine. And so what words of advice and inspiration would you give other creative people about just being that creative person? What keeps you floating every day and keeps you out there, keeps you saying, I'm going to go do this again today? What keeps you going?
Probably that I just want to do it as long as I can. Yeah, I'm 70. You know,
you are?
I started late. So
what?
You know, I just want to keep pushing while I can.
Holy, I thought I'm 63. I thought we were the same age.
No.
Well, you look amazing and are amazing.
Thank you. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I just feel like if I don't go out and do that, I won't get up off the couch. You know?
Right. It's true.
Right. So
it's true.
I need to do it. You know, it's just like a need. And you have to follow your needs, you know, your desires, especially now with things the way they are.
Yeah.
You know, we have to just keep pushing.
Yeah, and I'm holding my breath every day. I catch myself holding my breath, and I'm like, Maria, you got to breathe. This is, you know, I do see some glimpses of hope here and there, and I think we're just in a very, very strange time. So let's
have to
be
keep
nice.
fighting.
Yeah, keep fighting, not give up, and definitely not be complacent, and definitely just not live in just the fear. Like we have to live in the hope,
Yeah.
you know?
You got to
So
believe.
you got to believe that's right. Well, my
Right.
friend, one of my oldest friends in New York, thank you for always being so sweet to me and always being so lovely and even keel. If I had to describe you in any way, it's just Donna is just nice and even and wonderful.
Well, that you're describing yourself.
Oh,
Really.
thank you, honey. Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate
And I'm
that.
very flattered that you wanted me on.
Oh,
Thank
I've
you.
wanted you on for a while, right? Met a few
No,
times.
I know, but yeah,
But
but
this week
I
it worked
appreciate
out,
it.
and I'm so glad. And so if we want to find it's your website, donnaaceto.com or
It's
photography.
Donna.photography.com, which is,
Okay.
but I'm on Instagram as Donna Aceto.
Okay.
Just
Oh,
not,
see, okay. I always say
and
aceto because
Facebook, Aceto. It is Aceto, but other people
in
call me
Italy, but
Aceto.
okay.
I don't, yeah,
But
we're
I don't
here.
want to say it wrong. But go to Instagram and follow Donna. You'll see Donna's stuff all over the place. You'll see
Yeah,
it all
I
over.
post a lot on Facebook too, and it's just Donna Aceto. So
Hold on.
when I talk to Leo about a new website, then we'll pass that along.
Well, no, Leo is amazing. He's the best at it, and he's so sweet and does a beautiful job. And so,
And he's
yeah,
cute.
and he's adorable. So, yes, you guys should connect on that. Well, everybody, I want to thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you, Donna, for taking the time. And I know it was a little bit of a hassle getting on. So I appreciate you making the effort. Leo, as always, you are amazing.
Mhm.
And folks, you can catch us every Tuesday from 9 to 10 Eastern right here on Facebook, YouTube, and then it's saved. It's saved to all our pages. So go our YouTube page for this is episode 406. So, yes, I know. All creative
Mhm.
people, all wonderful people.
It's
So
very
go and check them.
impressive. Very impressive.
Oh, Jesus. That's so. Anyway, I'm getting a call. Yes.
Must be the senator.
Yes, Senator Mesa. Okay. Love you guys. I'll see you soon.
Love
Okay.
you. Thank you.
Bye,
Peace,
honey.
Bye bye.
everybody.
Peace out.